Alright, YouTube, this is the first of two battles, actually, that I had with Septimus on stream Saturday. It's kind of a slow stream day, so not a whole lot of challengers. A lot of people wanted anything goes, which I did it, but I'm not going to be posting any of those battles on YouTube. Um, First one was, well, both of them are sweeps in my favor, but they're both using Ubers, so it's kind of like, lol. But, no, Septimus is a good battler. I believe at this point, before this battle, it's 2-1 in my favor. We battled 3 times total. I think 2 times made it to YouTube. But yeah, we are pretty close, and I know he's going to be a good challenge here, so let's go ahead and get started. I lead with Absol because I thought he would lead with something else. And, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and switch into Jirachi as he goes into, well, because he leads with Shaman. And, yeah, I'm just going to U-turn, thinking that he's not going to stay in against my Jirachi, but he does because he has Earth Power. So I U-turn into Dragonite, which is pretty darn good for me because, yeah, I didn't actually know this thing would carry Earth Power. But now that I know that, I can feel like I know this team a little better. Now, this Dragonite is not a normal setup Dragonite. My Dragonite is actually a Choice Banded Dragonite, which is neat, and I'm just going to go for the extreme speed. As you can see, though, it doesn't really do much to the incoming Togekiss, which leads me to believe this thing is almost certainly physically bulky. But whatever, I'm just going to go on to Nidoqueen because, yeah, usually these things like to go for the Thunder Wave first, but he ends up making a great overprediction and switching out into his Extra Drill, which, yeah, just not very good for me. I don't really have anything that I can really, safe switch into this thing, so I kind of wanted to see what he would do and set up my Stealth Rocks. Unfortunately for me, he flinches, which kind of sucks because it would have been nice to get those Stealth Rocks up early. He does have a couple Pokemon, or actually Victini, I think, is just his only Pokemon weak to it, but still, Stealth Rocks can definitely wither them down early when you go ahead and get them up as soon as possible. So I do switch out now, not knowing what this thing would do. I know it has the Air Balloon, so it can switch up moves. I thought that he would not overpredict twice, so I got into my Azumarill as he goes out into his Tyranitar to take the Aqua Jet, which really doesn't end up doing as much as I would have thought, but whatever. This is also his Mega Evolution, so he's going to Mega Evolve as I go into Florges, which is kind of a bad play for me because Florges is more of a special wall, not a physical one. I was kind of predicting the Crunch, maybe, but yeah, he ends up just going for the Stone Edge, which is going to completely wreck my Florges, and yeah, unfortunately, it's just going to kill it next turn, I think, so yeah, not really able to use this new Generation 6 thing. He just goes for the Iron Head for the super effective death. Oh well, would have been nice, but rip Florges. Regardless, I go into Jirachi figuring that I'm going to scare this thing out with Iron Head, and it does indeed force a switch, as I believe, what do I go for? I go for the Iron Head, do I? I don't remember. No, yes, I do go for the Iron Head, but he just goes into Galvantula, and I really don't want this thing to set up its, sticky web thing, and that would suck, and I actually didn't think I'd have much to do about it, but this Galvantula carries a red card, which ends up working out for me because it allows me to get the free switch into Absol, which after Mega Evolving, if he wants to go for it, due to Magic Bounce, it's going to be bounced back, so that's really good on my part. I don't think he's going to go for it because obviously he does know about Magic Bounce, so instead I just go for the Sucker Punch, knowing that I should be able to outspeed it due to, the priority if he's going for the Bug move, and it ends up working out pretty nicely for me because I take down the Galvantula. Now, he does go back into Tyranitar, sets up that sand again, and he ends up surprising me with a switch into Togekiss here. It ends up being, well, no, it's not a double switch. I was just going for the superpower, hoping that he didn't predict that I had it, but I do carry it, instead of the Swords Dance on my Absol, just for the extra coverage. And Mega Absol is strong enough already anyway. But, yeah, this is not a great matchup for me. I don't want to get hit by a super effective fairy move if he has it. Then again, these Togekisses don't really carry fairy moves, but I still decide to switch out into Nidoqueen because I view that I should have a pretty good chance now to finally set up Stealth Rocks. Oh, and this Togekiss is weak to Stealth Rocks, that's right. So he does have 2 Pokemon, I believe, weak to the Stealth Rocks, so I was right when I said 2. Hooray! So yeah, I do set up the Stealth Rocks now, and he ends up staying in, which I kind of didn't expect. I thought he would try to switch out, fearing my Poison move or my Ice Beam, but he doesn't, which is pretty excellent for him. Now I'm going to try to go for the Sludge Wave to try to get damage on this thing, but now he's going to switch, so he played that very nicely. Septimus is playing pretty much doing very well outplaying me right now. Actually, I go for the Ice Beam, not the the Sludge Wave. I go for the Ice Beam because I thought he might switch out into... What did I think? What was I predicting? I think I was predicting, the Excadrill, so I wanted to get neutral damage on that. But instead he does go out into Victini, and I don't want anything on my team to take a V-Create, so I kind of just stay in as fodder. But he goes for the Searing Shot, so this is like a special Victini. Searing Shot is Victini's other signature move, although I guess V-Create isn't a signature move anymore since other Pokemon get it, don't they? I think so, but regardless, that shows me that it is a special Victini, which isn't quite as scary, but still pretty scary, let's face it. So he goes out into Shaman, to take my Aqua Jet, which is a good play. It's going to force me to switch, because I can't really do anything. It's going to outspeed me, and I don't want to take a Seed Flare. I go into Dragonite, because the two moves that I saw, I know I can take, and he goes for the Leech Seed and misses, which is good for me, and I was so sure he's going to, take the switch into Togekiss here, but instead he decides to stay in and Leech Seed me, which is another excellent play on his part, because that means I am locked in a Thunder Punch and I have a Seed on me, so this Shaman is not going to be forced to switch out, like I was kind of hoping. Like I said, I was hoping for the Togekiss, but yeah, I'm trying to overpredict, and I think that was my downfall in this match, is I just tried too many overpredictions, and not a lot of them worked out. So I go into Jirachi as he goes for the sub, and that's another great play for him. It's a sub Jirachi with Leech Seed, but I know this thing's whole set now, and yeah, the only thing I have to really fear is his Earth Power. I just go for the Fire Punch because it's super effective, and I want to get rid of that sub, and he's going to get the Earth Power on me, so... No, he goes for the Seed Flare. I guess he was predicting maybe a switch or something. I don't know. It ends up doing decent damage thanks to a crit, which is always good, I suppose. And yeah, now he is going to switch, not wanting to take that Fire Punch. I'm just kind of staying in. I know he's going to switch out into Tyranitar. I'm just kind of hoping maybe for the Fire Punch burn, thanks to my Serene Grace ability, but it doesn't happen. It's still only a 20% chance after Serene Grace. But yeah, it would be nice to get the burn on this thing. But, yeah, I'm going to stay in, because I don't have a Pokemon that can take anything, and I kind of think that he's going to try to overpredict, and he does end up switching out into Victini. Too bad this is another thing that resists my fire moves, and, yeah, I'm just going to keep going for it. Looking at the damage, I'm hoping that I can get a 2-hit KO after the Sandstorm, but no, it's not quite a 2-hit KO, and he's going to be able to get a Thunder off on me. Thank God he predicted a switch or something, not going for the Searing Shot. And he is going to be taken out to the Sandstorm, so at least the Victini goes down, but I would have really liked not taking that Thunder damage. Oh well, so he goes down to Togekiss, and I am going to switch now because I obviously want to keep Jirachi, and I go out into a Azumarill. I don't even know why I do this. He goes for the Roost, that's right, which is fine, I suppose, and yeah, it's going to get HP back, which it kind of needed. Now, I go for the Waterfall, I think, here to get extra damage, thinking that he would switch. He doesn't, but that's kind of stupid on my part, to be honest. No, I end up switching. I lied, I switched into Jirachi again, because I wanted to get the Iron Head off on this thing. But yeah, he just goes for the Air Slash. And here is the biggest overprediction that I think cost me the match. Just, I guess, a warning here. I'm thinking, okay, he obviously has to think that I'm going for the Iron Head, right? So I'm just going to go for the trick to see what he goes into. He's not going to go into Tyranitar, because I'll kill it with Iron Head. But he does end up going to Tyranitar, and I cannot trick a Pokemon that has a Mega Stone. So yeah, that forces me to switch, which pretty much gives him a free kill at this point with Stone Edge. None of my Pokemon can live it, and I go into Dragonite hoping that the Stone Edge would either miss or he would not go for it for some reason, but he does, and it does kill me, which sucks. Now I go into a Azumarill, and once again, yeah, overprediction is killing me. I thought he would switch. He's not going to leave it in and take, an Aqua Jet that would kill him, would he? He does, and then he kills me. So then I go into Absol, and I'm like, okay, he's not going to leave it in against a Play Rough, is he? And then he does, and as I go for the knockoff. Once again, overpredicting, and he murders my Absol. Then I'm like, okay, I survived. I'm just going to finish it off now. It's obviously that he's just trying to fodder it, and then I miss Play Rough. So, Lesai. Yeah, that sequence of overpredictions, as you can see, kind of destroyed my chances of winning, and he played this very well, and I didn't. And that's the end of that. So I go into Jirachi. I'm going to lock myself into Iron Head because it's my only chance at this point is to get the Serene Grace Flinch Hacks, but he has a nearly full health Excadrill here, which does resist my Iron Head, and I'm going to need to get like 6 flinches in a row to pull it off. And even with 60% flinch rate, that is not incredibly likely. I end up getting 2, but this turn he is able to get off a Earthquake, which does finish off my Jirachi for the win. So good game, Septimus. As I said, we have a rematch at his request later in the stream that I will be posting next time. See if I can get some revenge. Now I think that brings our series to 2-2 in Gen 6. So got to break that. We got to have a tiebreaker. Now, today's question of the day is, if you could change one thing about the Pokemon type chart, what would it be? There's a lot of little nitpicks I've heard about the Pokemon type chart over the years. I always felt that Poison should be super effective against Bug, as it was in Gen 1. That would probably be my biggest change, just because, it just makes sense to me that, you use Pesticide to get rid of bugs. Why isn't Poison super effective against Bug? Although Bug being super effective against Poison makes no sense to me. That's another Gen 1 thing. And the only other change I can even think of is I would change the immunity to dragon type moves on fairies to a resistance to dragon type moves. This makes no sense why a Dragon Claw wouldn't affect a fairy at all. I mean, I can see it. Okay, fairies are magic, blah blah blah. But yeah, that would be my answers. Leave a comment about what you would change about the Pokemon type chart, and I will see you guys again next time. Later.